And we are recording.
Yay!
Pork chop sandwiches.
Huh? I see. Anyways, last time, so much fucking happened. Look at us. We can be productive people. So we start on our wonderful spire looking. We find it and then realize that we have to get an appointment to go inside. We find the dude to make the appointment. Only in a really dumb twist of unfortunate events, we have to do a side quest to get the appointment to get into the building. And the side quest is to get the heads of antlions, which is a hell of a thing, but Elias knows a guy. So, you know. We make the plan, but, other shit has to happen first. So, Elias goes shopping. Sorry, Elias does not go shopping. Elias goes crafting, Mel goes crafting, Ren goes shopping, Orca goes shopping with Ren. Like, that isn't a fucking disaster. Somehow it wasn't a disaster. And then... Oh my god. Who else? Fucking Christ. Hane, Trig, Wolfheart.
The rest.
Cantor went to find the person known as Honor, only for haha jokes. He was waiting for our dumbasses. He has a list. He has a list of things he had to do, and he has been waiting for our dumbasses for too goddamn long. He owns the bar now. Like, how do you become an accidental bar owner? Oh, it's by waiting too fucking long. And then the flood of information happens, friends. Honor's immortal. The person whose journal we are collecting, his name is Ishi. There's so many disciples, all of the fucking information in the world. I cannot even list it because fuck, it was a lot. And then we finished our conversation. That's where we left off. Well, they left off. Other friends are still doing things. There's a shortcut version of everything that happened last week. Ta-da! I'm not sorry.
4.
Shortcut version.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like actual crimes.
This week we are going to start our journey to the middle of the fucking desert because, hell. And hopefully we don't die. Ta-da!
It's not really the middle of the desert.
Close enough, honestly.
Close enough.
It's going to feel like the middle of the desert to us.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. So we pick up where you guys had just left the bar that Honor inherited.
Squatted. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to fight him for it. To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a fucking monk, so.
It makes sense that he'd be the owner. He's probably their best patron. The only one that's always
He's
there.
the only patron at this point.
He's the only person at this point. It's just him.
Just take it.
Where are we starting off at?
I'm guessing back at the inn.
Yeah, I think that's what we can do, because I think everybody else got their shit sorted, right?
Yeah.
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 Think so.
I mean, if Ren wanted to do something else, sucks.
That bitch.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So back at the inn with crafting friends.
Yeah, what she said.
Joshua?
I'm sorry. I hit the mute button after I said pork chop sandwiches because I didn't want to interject more, and then I forgot to hit it again.
Nice.
Yeah. But no, I'm good with that.
Oh no, I just wanted to make sure you're here because I didn't want to start talking into the void and then find out you weren't here.
Oh. Hello.
Hello. Hello, friend. Why do I always feel so fucking awkward starting things?
I know, me too, right?
I've been playing games with you guys for too fucking long for me to still feel awkward about it.
Because
Personally,
you're
I
an
feel
awkward
like we're off
person.
to a great start.
Thanks.
We're in this Krista.
So I almost said Reelan. What campaign did I on? Elias.
Yes.
So while Elias is crafting things, Mel's doing her little potion things, and then she'll just... So... What was with the thing that... When you tried, like, having the guys go off to the side to talk to them separately, what was going on?
Oh, so I can talk about that now because we're going there anyway.
Oh, good.
But yeah, no. So I knew pretty much right away when I looked at that rock where it came from. That rock, the rune stone or whatever you would like to call it, that came from the den of the antlion. The reason I didn't want to bring that up in front of everybody is because it's extremely dangerous in there, like ungodly so. And I personally would prefer not to watch any of you get eaten. It makes me squeamish. But I know that some of the more eccentric among us might have hopped at the opportunity to go somewhere that I know to be filled with a fair number of rare and expensive objects. But as someone who has a fair amount of experience going in and out of that place, it's a death trap. And we don't ever like to go in there unless we absolutely have to. Even when we hunt the antlions, we do it on the surface. We don't go into their den because it's a really easy way to die and guarantee that nobody is coming to look for you. And I just didn't want that to have to go through that hassle unless we decided it was absolutely necessary. So I thought that myself, not being one of the more level-headed among us, I would give this information to the two people, I suppose three, just not so much that Trick can communicate, but, of the more level-headed amongst us, I was going to give the information to them and see what they thought was the best decision to make.
Okay. Fair. Well, we're going anyways, so I appreciate your attempt.
Yeah, like I said, it's like, it's not that I don't trust any of you. It's not that I don't think any of you are capable. It's just that I know I could die in there as easily as anyone else. And while I'd like to think that you are all unique and talented individuals, I've seen unique and talented individuals die in them. And, I've somewhat enjoyed our travels. I'd like to keep the composition of our party as is, as best we can. And so, that was my only reasoning for doing as I did.
So as he says all of this, she's just slowly, so she's stirring everything, and then she just slowly stops and just is staring at him. It's just, you can say you like our company. I won't laugh at you. It's okay.
I use fanciful language. It's a defense mechanism. But no, I will say, unabashedly, that at the very least, I very much so enjoy your company. I think you're great fun. And I think that you're a good listener.
Yeah.
I know you will.
I didn't I didn't say it out loud, but I'm like, they will. I won't. But like yeah. She just kind of nods and is just like, "Aw, thanks." Hey, the other thing, when we were at okay, this is Krista not remembering. Where the fuck were we when he was like, "What if you're part of this family?" Was that at the
Yeah,
That was at
that
the,
was also at the
yeah.
library. Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
at the library? Okay.
Mhm.
I think it was either
Well,
look.
that was no. That was. I mean, yes, technically it was when we were at the library, but it was the second visit when we went back to ask about getting access to the spire.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's I knew it was
Yeah,
that part.
it
but
was either that or the curse stone. It was one
Yeah.
of the two. Yeah.
I just couldn't remember which one.
Well, because the
So-
cursed stone is in the spire, is it not?
No. The
No, it's just
Oh.
restricted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was what we were asking about. In
Yeah.
relation to that, anyway.
Yeah. So when we were trying to get into the spire, you're like, what about people for the Valentine family?
That's what it was.
What So that was both Krista and Mel trying to remember the exact one because it was just like such a quick one-off thing.
So yeah, no, that was Josh telling Krista that you are saying the correct thing.
Yeah. But that's also Mel being like, I don't know if that was the right thing.
Okay. I got you.
What do you want to talk about that, buddy?
What would you like to know?
Is that your real last name?
Well, I
Are
mean,
you real fams?
Well, I mean, technically, they're both my real last name. Just depends on which of my parents' last names I feel like using. Is all. My father's last name is Enders. My mother's last name is Valentine.
Okay.
Just so happens that in this part of the world, and in
Uh-huh.
several other parts of the country as well, my mother's name carries a bit more weight than my dad's does.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, my father is a very astute and respected educator and architect, as well as a scientist in a couple of different schools of study. He's a very accomplished man. I respect him a lot. He's the head of our R&D division, and I work directly underneath him alongside my sister. One of my sisters.
Oh, are we going to get to meet your family?
My younger sister will almost certainly be there. My older sister, it is anyone's guess. My older sister, well, to keep things simple, me and my younger sister work for my dad, and my older sister works for my mom. And the work that we do is very different. And so my older sister is often out and about, doing things that my mother needs done.
How many siblings do you have?
I have two.
Okay. Fudge. Hold on. You're a middle child.
I am, yes.
Okay. Oh, I wanted to type sisters, not siblings. What does your mom do?
My mom is in charge of our organization.
Okay. Okay. Fancy.
Yes. The way, well, you and I are close. I feel like I can share these things with you. Um, the way that our organization has run for, as far as it's been explained to me, I want to say, since the Dusk Elves left the Eladrin courts, we've essentially existed kind of as an entity unto ourselves. We never really coalesced into the rest of Dusk Elf society, or the the lunar court, as in, or the lunar solar court, as they were. It was just never really our bag, and so we kind of just went off and did our own thing. And the the women of my bloodline have always led our, if you want to call it, our troop, our society, our organization, what have you. And so with that, generally, you don't get to be, it's not a, firstborn kind of thing. It's just, it's those with the greatest level of ability, out of any one generation, are chosen to be the next matriarch. So when it came to time for a decision to be made amongst my mom and her siblings, she was the most capable, I suppose, out of all of them, and so she was chosen to lead. Everyone is fairly certain that my older sister will replace her. I also am fairly confident that's what's going to happen. My younger sister doesn't seem very interested in the position anyway. No, it's we are a very unique, I think, collection of people. A lot of the rules of traditional society, and the organization around such, not the sort of thing we're particularly interested in. Kind of a found family coalition sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't actually know what traditional stuff values are, because you have met half of my family. Do you think grandfather runs anything? He doesn't. I'll tell you now,
I can
he
promise
doesn't.
you, none of them, that you should be grateful for the fact that that your family doesn't conform to those rules, because I, on multiple occasions, have to engage with people who do, and they are the most boring motherfuckers I've ever met in my entire life. And so when you told me you came from nobility, I was pleasantly surprised, because I was like, wow, she's not a wet sheet of paper.
I also live in the middle of a forest.
Yeah. That kind of almost naturally adds some flavor, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, this is going to be delightful. I'm so excited for this trip now.
Yes. Yeah. I think Mother will enjoy you.
I do tend to be a lot of people's favorites.
Also, do you want to see something neat?
Absolutely.
So as he says that, Elias kind of puts down whatever it is he's working on, and he stands up. He just kind of like brings his arms out off of his side just a little bit, and as he does, you watch as the traditional armor that you normally see him wearing kind of, it just like slowly begins to transform, and he looks as though he's wearing very fine, regal, like desert attire, like that, what you would expect to see like worn by a desert noble. Except for, instead of like, what you would consider to be like traditional nobles colors of like purples, or like even the more fanciful colors that you might see in like the deserts, so like gold, silvers, things like that. It's not that. It's a vibrant sky blue color.
Oh, I love it.
That's pretty neat, right?
Yes. So that's just really pretty too.
Yeah, right. As I tried to do a lot with the detail work, you know. I figured I wanted it to pop, kind of thing that didn't want it to be the kind of thing you look at for a couple of seconds, and then you start to be like, oh, what about that right there?
I like it. I can appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I think I can make your clothes do this too.
That would be the best thing ever.
I have to look,
But then I
'cause
can't show it to grandmother. Because she'll probably want it. But
Yeah. So at above game, I have to look and see, because I think it might have been one of the things that I told you I already did to your armor.
oh fucking Christ, I don't know.
But yeah, no, it's one of the augmentations I can make. It just depends on whether or not it's like a second level augmentation or a third level augmentation. Because if it's a third level augmentation, then I can't do it for things that.
What is it?
It was.
If it's environmental, it's first.
No, it's not environmental. She already has that. I gave her that already.
If it's fight, I think it is third.
No, it's not like a function thing. It's a fashion thing.
It's a
Glamour.
pretty thing.
Yeah, it's glamored. So I think that might be a third tier thing. So I don't know if I can.
Prob.
But if I can, so I will check, and if I can, I will do that for Mel's armor. If not, then we will find you things that do that on their own.
Listen, she's a little goblin child, but she's a little goblin child that likes pretty things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't all goblin children like pretty things?
They do.
Yes.
Can't
That's why they.
confirm. I'm
That's
also
why
goblin
they
child.
take them out of your pockets.
Yes.
Yes. But unfortunately, she was raised around fancy, expensive, pretty things. So then her goblin brain just goes, expensive.
Yeah, Glimmered is a master.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will get you things that do that, or we'll just get you nice armor.
Just find me pretty things.
Yeah, no. So after Elijah's demonstration, he goes back to working. If Mel has any more questions, he would answer them. Otherwise, he just asks her to hold still while he makes sure that the masks that he's making fit on her.
It's actually kind of one of those moments of like she needs to finish like what she's doing too. So like as he's fitting it, she's just like sitting up straight, like looking down at what she's doing. Like
I always just picture it's more like a cat. Just no.
No. She. This is not the worst formal fitting she's ever had to sit through.
Also, I think that I put these in the chat for this after a couple of people had left during last week.
Yeah.
And I know, again, we technically haven't reconvened yet. But if you look in magic items, if you haven't added the 2 items that I put in there last week onto your character sheet, you might want to, just because that's the stuff that Elias is making you all in order to move through the sandstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have anything in particular to add to the conversation, so unless Mel has anything else, I think we're...
No. I said my piece.
All right, cool.
She's just sitting over her potions, waiting for them to finish brewing.
Right, then unless anybody else had anything else they wanted to do,
No.
then you guys eventually reconvene.
How long would you say it's been since Orca's taken that elderberry, has been sick? Has it been like an hour since then, or is she still sick?
It's been an hour.
Yeah.
God. Awesome. Awful. I hate being nauseous in real life, and now my character had to be nauseous. Horrible. Awful.
Neat.
Orca arrives, no longer leaning on Ren, and she just kind of looks at everybody and just like sits down and chills on like on a couch or something. Like doesn't say anything. She just needs to sit down.
When we all come back together, Elias would just hand you each a small, thin wooden box that has your goggles and your ventilator in them. He's like, there you go. Don't lose them.
Cool.
Cool.
Right, well. Do we just head out in the morning then? Considering. Just kind of like looks over at Orca.
I'm okay. I wasn't for a bit. I'm okay.
I mean, I don't know particularly how much experience any of you have in traveling through the desert, aside for maybe Hane. But it's generally better actually to move through the desert at night because it's cooler and usually desert creatures are less active at night. If you wanted to move through it in the day, we can. It's just then we'll have more of the concern of like heat sicknesses and things of that nature. But I mean, I'm perfectly accommodated for either. I know that you all went and got with their appropriate clothing, so if that's not a concern that you have, it's not a concern that I have. Just talking about optimal mobility at this point.
Well, nighttime sounds good. I'll take your word for it.
So what time is it, Josh?
It's early afternoon.
So we could, in theory, just take a long rest now, and then, at night begin traveling outward, unless anyone else has other thoughts. Because I'm open to other thoughts as well, obviously.
I mean, is traveling at night going to be a problem for anyone?
Do we need to exclusively travel at night? I understand we don't need to wait until morning, but I mean, we don't. Do we have to wait until night? Like, is the afternoon bad too?
I mean, once the sun has, once it's not at its highest point in the day, it's only going to slowly get cooler. Generally, depending on the time of year, at least by like 3 to 5, in the afternoon, evening is when the temperature starts to drop. So I would say probably closer to like anywhere between like 5 and 7, but still, like early to late evening. And so it's like, as long as, if our only concern is not being out in the beating sun, then we can travel, what I would say safely anytime from like 7, from like 5 p.m. until like 10 or like 9 or 10 a.m. Before like the heat reaches its apex in the most dangerous parts of the day. So like more than we have access to more, I would say, putting it in a brief and simple way, we have access to more than half of the day for travel.
So my question is it alright for us to just leave now, or should we wait a few hours for the sun to set more?
So the only reason that I would say it would be better to wait would just be, obviously being able to travel longer under the cover of night versus starting our rest while the sun is still down and then losing potential travel hours the next day. But again, it depends just on, I know we're not in any hurry or anything, so it doesn't particularly matter to me one way or the other. The one thing we'll want to make sure we do, and Elias will kind of pull out a map or whatever, what have you. How do I do the thing where I make multiple points when making a line?
Hit Q.
Thank you.
Well, my
I
friend.
would just say that we would want to essentially, this is the route that we're going to want to take into my home, at least getting up to the sandstorm. Once we get into the sandstorm, there's a series of checkpoints that we're going to want to make our way to, just to give, obviously, those of us who are not as well equipped physically for desert travel a chance to rest and collect their bearings before we continue forward. There are a couple of different entrances into my home once we reach the sandstorm, but we do have to get at least a fair bit of the way into it. And, it's somewhat circuitous intentionally to keep out those who don't belong. The only other thing that I would warn about is once we reach the edge of the sandstorm, we're going to want to find some way of securing ourselves to one another. As I mentioned previously, normally me and mine have a very specific kind of mount that we use to travel through the sandstorm. They're desert reptiles that are entirely unbothered by the conditions found within the sandstorm, and they're able to move fairly quickly, so that's how we generally will travel, but they're not large creatures, and they're not meant for transporting groups of people. One or two of them is meant to transport an individual, so we will have to make our way through on foot instead. So it'll be a longer process, but this is the only good and safe way to do it, because if any of us get lost, but again, besides myself, and depending on how much he remembers of being there once we're actually in there, Hane, find your way back outside of the sandstorm or you will die.
Well, I trust your judgment.
Well, perhaps then, just a couple hours just to make sure everything is packed accordingly, and then we can head out just before sunset then.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the best time to do that. It gives us the
Sounds
most
good to
time
me.
to make headway before the sun rises again.
All right. Does anyone have any questions?
I don't exactly know.
Okay. I know I've said this already, but I just want to remind everybody, once we are out of the sandstorm and below the surface of the desert, please do your best to stay within 30 to 60 feet of me, because if you get too far away from me, the protection that being in my presence provides will no longer apply to you, and you will either be seen as an outsider and a risk, or you will simply be cordoned off until your presence can be investigated. And I would prefer that we avoid doing that, and I just explain your presence and then get you all the appropriate levels of access to not have to worry about that sort of thing.
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so you guys gonna do anything while you wait, or are you just gonna time skip?
And skip a whole nap, at least for Orca.
Time!
Alright, so you guys
I didn't get to
hang
skip any of
around
this, it was just
for-
time.
yeah.
Oh,
You guys hang around for a couple hours before setting out.
Fucking Christ. Let's see.
Yeah, the journey on foot is not pleasant. One second. Okay. Like I was saying, the trek through the desert is not comfortable. You guys, I believe all of you have clothes that are designed to acclimate around the weather. It's not perfect for all of you. You're not to the point where you're reaching exhaustion, but those of you that can sweat are.
Gross.
Lovely.
For the first time ever, Wolfhard has taken off the coat. I feel like it's weird for all of us.
Ah, I thought that was your skin.
Oh.
I thought you came with that.
Yeah, Vel. It just gesticulates about the sun.
All of that.
Yeah, it's not exactly hot where I come from.
Orca responds not with words, but she's like, you hear a cough, and you look at her. She's trying to chug as much water as possible before she just
Don't.
shrivels up like that.
Oh. Don't chug.
Oh, yeah, no.
Gotta sip. You will make yourself sick.
I already feel sick, but okay.
Well, you don't want all that water to come back up, do you?
No.
Then sip, dearest.
I'm sipping.
Sounds like she's talking to a cat.
I know.
The journey to the Desert Storm takes to get to the edge of it takes you 10 days.
Oh my
Good
goodness.
God!
Yeah, I mean, travel is slower in the desert.
I warned you.
Yeah,
10 days.
yeah.
10 days.
7 days.
11 days.
4 days.
That's how long
Anyways.
Kobold lives. What it is.
So we make it out of the storm.
No, we get two.
You make it to the
We
storm.
make it to the storm.
Yeah,
my
that's where we want to go.
So
Oh
we make
my
it.
God!
There.
Oh yeah.
So like there.
Oh, okay. That's a lot further on than I thought it was. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty accurate too.
Yeah, we made some good time.
Giant billowing sand clouds off in the distance is like, where is it? Where's it start?
Well, see, so that sand
Where
doesn't
is
get
it
in
in
his
this one?
eye, he just hasn't been wearing his head.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, hey, and you're not wearing your head again.
Oh, that's right. Just pull like the the turban around the head and just like unwrap it a bit. And, there we go.
Do we need to like wrap something around like your neck seam? Like, do we have to worry about sand getting on that?
He's got a scarf. It's fine.
I'm asking for your comfort.
No, it's fine. We just let him go without, and then once we get there, we just gotta grab him by his ankles and shake all the sand out.
So it would be
That
when
would
we
be
reach.
Funny to watch.
So
I'll have you know, I can
reach
shake my own ankles very much.
It would be when we reach this area. We approach like one of the mesas, like the larger mesa off to the east of us. There's a stone wall stone wall. Outside of which is completely unordinary, other than there's a section that in front of it there is two statues. Both of them look like people who are horribly suffering on their knees in agony. Just in front of this wall, this flat stone wall that does not otherwise look noteworthy. You watch as Elias reaches into his bag and pulls out a sandstone dagger and sticks it into the right eye of the left statue and then twists it. And then the stone wall begins to separate, and you can see a small alcove on the inside of this mesa.
Well, that's kind of dreadful. Okay.
A little bit.
Effective and brutal.
If anyone needs water, food, anything like that before we go in, now's the time.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
might as well while we still have the opportunity.
We restock up on everything.
Alrighty.
It's just the way that Josh said that.
Well, alrighty then.
Yeah, that's exactly what I heard. It's just Jim Gary.
Let's just do all the things that you want to do.
Nobody ever says that to me.
Oh.
My God.
Okay then.
Oh my God. Okay. Cool. Right. So, I mean,
Do we ever figure out how we're gonna tie each other to it's
that's exactly what I was about to ask. I mean, I guess we could use rope. It's kind of a obvious answer, but I guess no reason to not go with the obvious solution.
It's not broke,
It's
don't
like, I'm
fix
not
it?
trying to reinvent the wheel here.
Yeah, exactly.
Besides, we technically already did that. It's called the propulsion engine. It's super cool.
Is it better to tie ourselves in like single file or more kind of like a group pattern like dog sleds?
I mean, we all should have rope. We could all. It's probably better to tie each other off to multiple anchor points just in case. I don't know if there's anything that lives in the sandstorm. I would assume not. I would assume that your people would keep that clear because of that reason, but better to have multiple.
What few things could potentially survive in this environment if it is not something that we have tamed? It is something that we have culled.
And I mean, better to have multiple points of failure in case something happens than just the one.
Yeah, no, I would recommend that. That would be for the best.
I've always wanted to be part of a dog sled.
God damn it.
Again, Just things to remember when we get in. Obvious things first. Do not take off your goggles for any reason. Do not take off your mask for any reason. Do not untie yourself from the rope group for any reason. You will, unless you have some form of telepathic communication, be unable to speak to those around you until we reach each of our checkpoints until we get to our final destination. If you have anything important to say, make sure you say it now or say it at a checkpoint, because if you don't, maybe a couple of hours before you get the opportunity again.
How
Also-
many checkpoints are there?
From where we're going to the closest entrance, there will be 3.
How far apart
Okay.
are they?
Say from here to the first one will take us about 2 hours. From the second one to the third one will take us about 3, and then from the second one to the third one will take us about another 3.5.
I'm saying this above game, but like all while Elias is talking, I'm just thinking like this is just basically like a plane attendant.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Especially keep your hands on if you do like keep your hands on the rope.
yes, I feel like mountaineering is the more appropriate analogy here, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fair.
yeah,
but
100%.
brain went to flight
Well,
attendant.
yeah. I mean, flight attendant is the
It's very similar.
Flight attendant
is
is light.
more-
Mountaineer is a guy who has seen too much shit and has already had too much of yours.
And I
Yeah.
watched Jim
Yeah.
go over the cliff. Damn shame.
Idiot didn't fucking listen to me. You gotta fucking listen to me to be like Jimbo. Yeah. Yeah.
6 kids, all starved. Fucking
Oh.
Jim Bob.
Jesus Christ.
God, this has gotten dark.
Also, for those of you who need to breathe, you will be able to do so. There will be 0 sand in your lungs by the time we get to where we're going, as long as you listen to rule number 2 and keep your mask on. However, breathing will still be incredibly uncomfortable, just due to the external pressures of the storm. Moving and breathing takes a lot more effort than one might expect initially. Prepare yourself for that, because if any one of you pass out, you become dead weight that has to be carried, endangering the rest of the group. Don't be dead weight.
Well, Bart just kind of has the expression of like, I don't know how you prevent that, but okay.
How much
Orcas just,
invisibility?
I
Like,
take offense to that phrase.
How strong
Don't
the
be
wind is
excess
through the
weight.
storm?
how much are you able to see through the storm? Like 5 feet?
With
2 feet? No feet?
Without the goggles, you'll see next to nothing. With the goggles, you should have your normal range of vision.
Okay. So then maybe we should anchor me to at least one of everybody somehow. Because then if we're in the storm and you need to say something, you can just tug and I can look at you and we can say shit. Mind link.
We could do somewhat of like a diamond formation around Mel, with Mel at the center. Like, I could be at the point, then Mel will be in the center, and we'll have people organized around Mel with having a connection point to at least Mel and one other, if not 2 other people. That way, kind of ensuring that communication can be done as necessary, though it should still only be done as necessary, just for the sake of keeping focus. And that way, again, everyone has multiple anchor points to other people. That way, if one of these anchor points fails, we have another means of keeping everyone together.
Yeah.
How bad are the winds in this storm going to be?
You will not be able to walk. You will have to be tied to someone.
That's what I figured, so just strap me on the back of somebody.
Do you want to be my buddy, Cantor?
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Strap me on the back or the front, I don't know, it's up to you.
Cantor
I'm not-
Bjorn.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone have any questions, comments,
Favorite
concerns?
Overwatch character.
Many concerns, but we'll go. Goodness, bub.
All right. Well, if no one has anything else that they need, gather up whatever it is you would like to gather. Prepare yourselves, and then we will cordon ourselves off to one another, and then we will begin to make our way.
Honestly, all I'm hearing is strap in, bitches. Let's go.
Basically.
Yep.
See. Now he's
Hey.
gone. He's gone from flight attendant to roller coaster operator.
The
So
roller
if you
coaster
die,
operator who's
it
been
won't
doing
be
this
my
for so
fault,
long
and they don't
that
pay
like
me to care enough.
exactly. It's the
I'm a
roller
teenager
coaster
being paid
attendant.
$8 an hour. I don't give a
Well,
fuck.
it's a mix between the roller coaster attendant who does not give a shit and the roller coaster attendant who actually loves what he does and is just way too fucking into it. You ready, friends? We're gonna have a time. Put your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like 2
Yeah.
minutes of time. I stood in line for a half hour. Is this worth it? Probably not, but I'm gonna pretend like I enjoyed it anyways.
Yeah.
A half hour of suffering for 30 seconds of dopamine. This is the human experience.
I've been doing a lot more for a half hour. Where's my dopamine, motherfucker?
Yeah, we stood in line for like an half hour once for one of the rides at Universal.
Give dopamine. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. If no one has anything else, like I said, we will tie ourselves to one another and break
Skadoodle
through
on.
the exterior barrier of the sandstorm.
We descend into hell? Yeah.
Well,
I can hear Josh typing and it's freaking me out.
I mean,
Why?
yeah, I guess this would be a part of hell.
He's just
Which one,
answering
though?
some emails. Fine. Unrelated.
Yeah, answering some work emails off the clock just to get you, just to make you worried.
That's what I do.
Yeah, because he's not doing it because he actually wants to work. Fuck that. He's off the clock. He's not getting paid.
That's how I know it's not emails.
I mean,
Sure,
yeah,
I'm doing everything paid.
true.
Anyways. Oh, that was me in the background. Ooh.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
Dee-dee-da-dee-dee-do-do.
Dabba-dee-ba-dee-dee-doo. All right, we do the things.
Chris,
You
did you get like a good
ready.
nap in today or something?
No, actually, I didn't. I just
Oh, no, that explains it.
no. Here's the thing. I slept really good.
Well,
Like-
yeah.
I went to bed last night feeling sick, and I was asleep by 11 o'clock, and I didn't wake up until like 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning, which is like a huge thing for me.
Fair.
Also, the depression is backing off, so you know, real emotions.
Must be nice.
It is. Thanks.
I don't like this new Chris though. The new Chris to go, haha, yeah. This new one is too real. I don't like it. I liked it more when you lied to me. He said I was going to take a sip of a soda and almost fucking breathing it.
Mood.
Anyways,
All right. So you guys begin your trek into the desert storm. It is
We're not invading Kuwait.
Yikes.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if you can hear me when I start cracking up at that one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Sorry, baby.
you guys journey for what was it, 2 hours? I think for the first checkpoint.
Yes.
Yes.
You guys journey for 2 hours. You arrive at the checkpoint. No issues arise. Per standard procedure, there is a gentleman standing in the checkpoint, idling, basically like an NPC.
There's just a guy standing in the middle of this storm. What the fuck?
He's
No,
idling.
this is a
clearly engine
safe
powered.
zone. The checkpoints are safe zones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And his name is Garrett, thank you.
Oh yes. How could I forget?
Clearly you haven't learned your own co-worker's name. His name is actually Jarrett. Thank you.
Not even close. His name is Mother Teresa. Get it right.
His name is Jandolph.
Shut the fuck up.
I like to call him Glaret because of that resting bitch face.
Claret. God damn it.
Anyway, yeah, you come into the safe point, into this brief respite from the storm.
It's like one of the most surprising things about being in this environment is just that there is no sand wafting into the safe zone whatsoever, and outside of the sounds of running water in the fountain and the sounds of people moving around, it's in the safe zone, you cannot hear any of like the vicious whipping winds of the storm outside. It's almost as if it's an illusion when you look at it from in here.
I just want to make sure I remember right. You said in the safe zones it's fine to remove gear, right?
Yes, when we are in the safe zones, you can act in any way that you would outside of the sandstorm. These areas are actually, in consideration of everything else, being in one of these safe zones in the sandstorm is probably safer than just being out and about in the wild anywhere else.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as we get into the safe zone, we're all good. Mel's just gonna rip the goggles and mask off and shake all the extra fucking sand off. Be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's rough. That's why I'm glad I don't breathe.
Fuck you.
Orca's
I
taking
would
off her.
recommend... So go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. Orca's taking off the gear quietly, and she's just kind of shuddering to herself.
So I would recommend everyone take a minute, take a breather, rest your muscles, drink some water. For the love of God, shake the sand out of places it shouldn't be in, because if you think it's bad now, it'll only be worse if you leave it there and accumulate more on the way to the next place.
That sounds horrifying.
That does sound horrifying. Where is a place where I am not seen?
There are essentially what you would consider to be washrooms, things of that nature.
Thank God.
I had the image in my head of just everybody collectively not looking at each other, just facing the wall around the room, just trying to adjust themselves.
Just adjusting themselves.
No, there's a basement floor. There's a set of spiral stairs near the center of the first floor of the safe space that leads into like an underground interior space that has like private room.
Well, I'm so glad that the oasis in the middle of the sandstorm makes it so that I can shake the sand out of my pants in comfort.
So it's actually surprisingly comfortable to the point where it's like it's nicer than most like inns that you've been in your life. These very accommodating spaces. One of the things you notice as you head off to like one of the private residential areas is there's one of the larger rooms in this structure seems to be a medical facility with what looks to be fairly advanced and complex medical instruments.
Now I have the image in my head of Mal beating the sand off of Cantor.
No, it's just going to be like removing Cantor from the Cantor Bjorn and then just holding him out and shaking him.
Well, it's like, because here's the question. Because you could do it. Do you fully encase Cantor in like a cloth, preventing him from being just like, burdened by the sand, but also completely cutting off his ability to see anything, which again, there's not much to see here, but he might want to see what's going on. Or do you leave him like a slot through which he can see, but will also be assailed by the sand through?
No. Hold on. None of these are the ones I want. Oh, well.
You know what we should have done? Elias should have made Mel one of those spaceship cat backpacks.
Oh. Baby Bjorn.
Yeah.
But Cantor Bjorn.
Yeah, no.
And just itty bitty Mel.
I used to carry Rylan around in one of those.
A can't Bjorn.
I can't Bjorn.
Session title.
No, this session title needs to be I don't like sand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like sand.
Coarse, rough, and irritating. It's everywhere.
Thank you.
Coarse, rough, and irritating.
Thank you, George.
That's
Lucas.
all right.
Wordsmith of our time. Anyway, is there anything anyone else would like to do while we're here outside of remove sand from their non-sandy places?
Yeah,
Orcus just
stock
drinking
back up on
water.
water. Yep, just stock back up on stuff. Wait, no, not stock back up. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Replenish your thirst.
Yeah, I'm doing something. I don't fucking know.
Slurp.
Ew.
The attendee we have so aptly decided to name Garrett welcomes you all to the safe haven and looks over at you, Elias, and says, "That's a face I recognize.
It's good to see you, Garrett.
You as well."
Are you just out here for the week, or do they have you out here permanently now?
It's daily rotations right now.
Oh, okay. Things must be busy.
Things are dangerous.
No. I'll have to ask about that when I get in.
Yeah, it's there's been noise in the storm. Something's moving around.
Noise. What kind of noise? Do we know what it is that's out there? Have we had people survey?
We've had people looking for it. Nobody's come back.
I see. Has it kind of kept itself in any one particular location, or has it been moving around?
Moving everywhere. All three of my brothers went looking for it. I haven't seen them since.
Really sorry to hear that.
So we're getting through it. Dad's concerned. Worried he might try to go out himself and find whatever it is, but
So tell him not to. Tell him don't. We have
That's-
people for this. All right, like we've got teams for
that's
this.
what I keep telling him.
Yeah, and maybe is he back home? Do you want me to stop by and talk to him?
He's there. Hopefully, by the time that you get there, he's still there. He's
Yeah.
been pacing a lot. He's, at his old age, he doesn't move very quick. So
He
I
shouldn't
worry
be.
if there's something is out there, then he wouldn't be able to get away from it.
No, he shouldn't be outside of the lab anyway. He knows R&D is not supposed to be out and about. Like, we stay in the lab. That's our job.
Yeah, that's what I've told him. Your mom's told him the same thing, but he's concerned.
Like I said, I'll have a word with him. Just try not to worry about it.
I mean, you remember what it was like when we lost our sister.
Yeah. God.
Yeah. Took 5 of us to hold him back, but that was more in his prime.
Yeah. He's still tough though.
Wolfhard just like shaking stuff out of his boots and hearing this and just like, what the fuck?
Any word on whether or not they finished up the earpieces so that we can actually talk to each other when we're out there, or is that still
Not yet, but they're close.
all right? Well, I wish Dad was still here. They'd have it done if he was around.
Yeah. It probably would have been done years ago.
Yeah. I haven't made any leads. At least not any new ones on that front as of late, but I'm hoping to head west soon. I'd heard word that there might be some things worth looking into off the coast of Merida. So
That's
I'll head
so.
out that way, and if anything's actually out there, I'll definitely send word. But just haven't had the opportunity. Other things came up.
This must be other things.
Yeah.
Hi.
They say these are my other things. So feel free to introduce yourselves.
I'm Garrett.
Mel.
Orca.
Wolfhard.
Hein, that's Trig.
So you might recognize Wolfhard. I don't know if how much time he ever spent in the interior, but I think you went on a couple of my runs with me to Selenara. So he's a native.
It's the weirdest way you could have phrased that.
Yeah, face and name aren't ringing a bell.
He's one of the Jaegers.
Oh. I've killed a couple of them recently.
Oh really?
Fuck.
Hey, they're not all great, okay?
No, they were pretty batshit crazy. Yeah, they came here demanding all sorts of things, and
Were they degrading?
They
or
came here?
they came here.
Under whose order?
I don't know.
I can't imagine they made it very far.
No, they made it right here.
The fact that they even made it this far is pretty impressive.
Well, they were
5
pumped up on something.
of the Jaegers be leaving Selenara.
Coming here of all places. Like we
Anywhere.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Did you put them down, Garrett?
Oh, I had to. I mean, they were pretty weak by the time they got here, but
I mean, okay, yeah, fair. That's true.
I mean, their eyes had all but been gouged out by the sand, so
This is why we keep our goggles on.
if I didn't kill him, the storm would have within probably an hour.
What did you
Okay.
do with the bodies?
I left them.
Left them where?
Elias points out in the sandstorm.
They get buried naturally.
You should
Mel,
have
you're
burned them.
you're an intelligent young lady. I'm sure you're familiar with the concept of erosion. It happens really fast out there.
Should have burned them.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfheart, the storm would have torn them apart into pieces.
That's not what I'm worried about.
What are you worried about?
Some of the enhancements that Jaegers might have are a little more survivable than one would think. It's entirely possible that it was torn to shreds in the storm, but it might not have been.
I mean,
I
I'm
don't know.
assuming this was a couple of days ago, yeah?
Oh, this was a while ago. Over a month.
Yeah, no, there's nothing survives in that storm for a month. That's not how that works. If you made it back out, that's a different story, but... Which, I would be willing to write off were it not for the fact that they made it here in the first place.
I don't know how tough our other halves are. And just with a pointed look at Elias, like you know what I'm talking about.
Which is why I'm willing to give you the credence that the idea is not inherently implausible that this person may have survived. I'm just saying, if they did, the only way they survived is by leaving the storm again.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm assuming you left their gear on them, so it's been eroded away by the storm.
Oh yeah, I didn't take anything from them.
They wouldn't have had orders anyways. Nothing that would have told us who sent them. And I probably know who sent them, but why is more the point.
If you know, please feel free to share with the class.
The Jaegers are under order of the Jaeger Initiative. They're not technically part... They are part of the church, but not exactly, like...
It's an offset.
Yeah. And if they're still receiving orders from who I think is probably in charge, that would be Dr. Shaster.
Shushed.
And I don't know what the fuck he would want with anything out here.
Maybe the thing that's singing?
Wolfheart. Now, Elias kind of takes a moment and then looks around. I ask this, and I swear to God, I am not trying to be patronizing to anybody. These are my family's secrets, and they are of the utmost importance. Is it going to bother anyone terribly if I take Wolfheart aside and explain to him what I think they may have been after?
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you for letting us know.
Absolutely. I just kind of waits a couple of seconds to see if anyone has any objections, and if none are presented, he would take Wolfheart off into a separate room. So, Wolfheart, you know that the sandstorm here never ends, right?
Right.
There's a reason for that. This is not a natural sandstorm, and it also hasn't existed forever. A lot of people don't remember that because it's been around for as long as most people can remember. The sandstorm itself is about 500 years old. The device that keeps it going perpetually is called Brewster, and it is probably the crowning achievement of all of my father's works. It is our ultimate defensive weapon. It is a shield that protects us from all things at all times. And it is never once, at any point, needed repair. It is one of the most amazing feats of machination that any person has ever achieved. And so, Jaegers are coming here looking for anything of import. If it's not someone, they're probably here for Brewster.
I don't think that device would be necessarily useful for the defense of Selenora. Most of the things that attack us don't come from without, they come from within. But your father created it.
Yes.
And if it's never needed repair, and they know about that, they're probably thinking your father.
Well, they need to get in line, because they're not the only ones. And he's not here. He hasn't been for almost a decade.
Where would they get that information?
That's what I would want to know. Because there are only... Most people in our organization don't know where the sandstorm comes from. They're smart enough to know it's not natural, but they don't know where it comes from. We don't just tell people that.
As far as I know, your man on the inside, I've never really interacted with him that much, but he didn't seem like the type of person to sell out your secrets for no good reason.
The people who live here know better than to sell us out for anything. Because if you sold us out for anything, no matter what it was, when we find you, and we will, you will die the most brutal death a person can conceive of.
I more meant the one in Selenara. But regardless, yeah. Knowing that, though, it could be more than just Shashtar. A source of things that don't break down. There's no amount of people who'd be interested in that, but enough to send Jaegers? It would have to be somebody high in the church.
I don't know.
I don't either. It's been... Maybe it's only been a couple of years since I've been to Selenara, but who knows what's happened there in the meantime. I've received the occasional letter, but
Well,
all it takes is one bad night.
I think, and I understand your trepidations around the idea, but I think we're going to need to make a trip out there sooner rather than later.
I don't like the fact that you're probably right, but I agree.
Yeah. We'll coordinate
Jaeger's
on that after we've dealt with all the antlion mess.
Jaeger's outside of Selenara is... It's a clear and present threat to Selenara itself. We need every defender there is.
Well, and besides that, I can't imagine that Mother is taking this well. I
No.
would have to imagine whatever was left of our contract has summarily come to an end.
A lot of people are going to die for a very small amount of people's greed.
And I know your people are capable. I won't pretend like it's not possible for them to get inside, but they won't make it back out if they do. It's not a... I don't know what they think they're plotting, but it's I hate to imagine the amount of people who are going to die over this on either side.
The people that are going to die are going to be people who aren't involved in either side. Just casualties of war. Casualties of attrition, starvation, disease.
It's not like we're unaccustomed to war, but I'd rather not be fighting a war on two fronts right now.
It wouldn't even necessarily be a war on your end.
I mean, it is, we're hard people to get after.
Fighting anything across the seas is just dooming the homeland. What point is fighting a war when there's nothing to go home to?
Yeah, it just leads me back to there's got to be something or someone here they think can offset the cost. Regardless, I would rather, you and I only have so much to go on right now. No point in wasting a bunch of time pontificating here. We can ask more when we get inside, and hopefully someone there will have more information for us.
Yeah, I hope so. I could try writing letters when we're out, but even then, we would probably be faster served just going there. Information direct. But yeah, we need to get to your people first before we really decide anything about this.
Alright, well, let's get back before we're gone too long.
Yeah.
We return.
Alright, yeah, you return to Garrett and friends.
Yay, I'm friends.
Nope, only Garrett. The only one we care
Everyone
about.
else is gone.
No. Everyone else is still there. It's just they're off to the side.
Alright, well, we're heading in. Further in, at least. When you get back home, head over to the Leviathan and tell them that I said you get a night of. So yeah, tell them your tab for the night's on me.
Oh, that's a great gift. I need that.
Oh, and I think if I remember correctly, tournament's coming up at the pits. So I'll tell you, I say whatever your first bet is, I'll match it. So don't fucking lose. You understand me?
Don't fucking.
Well, I've only ever lost on bets, but it's not about winning. It's about the enjoyment of supporting the people who
It's
live.
about
Yeah,
the
well,
love of the
now
game.
when you're betting with my money, it's about winning. Do you understand, Garrett?
All right, I'll pick my second choice then.
Is your second choice who always wins?
Well, sure,
There's
she
only
isn't
two
the first
choices.
one.
There's only two choices.
I don't know how many picks he has.
I don't know. Funny, Krista, funny.
Funny.
Take care of yourself, bud.
You guys as well, and stay safe. Remember, there is something out there.
Oh yes. If anything comes up, we'll send word.
Appreciate
Alright,
it.
kids. Tie yourselves to your friends. Let's get going.
Just the deep groan of despair for a second from Mel before she puts everything back on.
No, it's heavy.
No, it's when kids don't want to do something, so they just kind of yell.
Yeah.
Like it's not about anything specific. It's just
No, yeah.
My favorite thing about being the owner of a 3-year-old is that he doesn't
exactly what I'm
generally like he won't tell me no and throw temper tantrums when I ask him to do something he doesn't want to do. He'll just look at me and say no thank you.
I think that's better. I like that.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm good.
All right. On to the next one.
So we begin the 3-hour trek to checkpoint number 2.
All right, you begin the 3-hour trek to checkpoint.
3-hour Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia. Damn.
No? Doesn't exist anymore. It's Czech Republic.
And on arrival, you find a gentleman there that you don't recognize, but they are wearing the attire of your people, being the goggles and
Craig.
the breathing mask.
Hey there,
He
fella.
looks over at all of you and gives you a nod and says, "Welcome to the checkpoint."
Mel just like rips her mask off and is just like, fuck, it's worse the second time around. God damn it.
Yeah, that extra hour really makes it.
I would
really
honestly prefer the snow.
You
Fucking same.
I've heard that many times. Many times.
And that's with the blizzard that's sentient and hates you.
Yeah.
Orca doesn't speak or anything, but she's just filled with so much disgust that she's just silent.
Just
She's just
angry.
mute.
I thought you were gonna say filled with so much sand.
If it makes you feel any better, Orca, there's a hot spring downstairs.
As soon as she hears hot spring, it's kind of like in cartoons where like you just zoom out of the screen.
Yeah, it just the imprint of sand where Orca was. Wouldn't that make it worse?
Well, I mean, who doesn't want a bath? They're towels.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the problem might be getting her back out, considering.
How'd she get a hot spring in the middle of the desert?
I mean, it's a natural spring. We didn't really get it. It was just kind of there.
Is there a volcano underneath this desert?
Probably.
That's the best answer, honestly.
I don't know, probably.
There is a vast number of somewhat interconnected but mostly disconnected tunnels underneath this desert, some of which are natural, some of which are man-made or created by the sentient but less sapient occupants of the desert. And several of those lead far enough down that they do reach magma pockets. And so, yes, there is maybe not necessarily a volcano underneath the desert in any one spot, but it is a possibility. And if nothing else, there are magma chambers that lead to volcanic-esque activity in certain regions of the desert, this being one of them.
I was joking before about this being hell, but what the fuck?
Some have speculated this desert is one of the hottest points on the entire planet.
Honestly, all I could think is, like, you guys have seen, like, the side of Mel that was definitely raised by her mother. And now this is just all of her mama. Just straight anger with all this shit.
Angry.
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 Big and angry.
Angry.
The gentleman standing there says, "You guys planning on waiting around? Can I point you anywhere?"
I think I was going to go join Orca in the hot spring. I don't know about the rest of you. Does anyone need
I
anything?
bet you were.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
You
Sorry, I don't know what
hey,
I'm on.
Hey, look at me. Mind your business. And then he comes downstairs.
I'm sorry, that was actually just pure me. Sorry.
I don't know. That feels like Mel.
Okay.
Was that a conversation between Mel and Elias or Joshua and Krista? No one will ever truly
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
I refuse to go and get in a bath because then I'm just gonna hate getting back in the sand.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll just make it worse for me mentally. I'm gonna just sit here
So-
dying.
Orca and Elias have gone into the outpost itself downstairs.
Yes.
Jeez.
Cool.
What's everybody else doing?
Sitting in the courtyard mad
There's-
about sand.
Say again, there's more like individual private residences here. There is a large sitting area. When you first go down the stairs, you would notice that right off of the main large sitting area, there's another large medical facility here in this space as well as what looks to be a repository of information. Kind of similar to a library, but more so things are put into like filing shelves and like cabinets, less of a more open space to like kind of browse at your leisure. It's more of a you kind of have to know what's there and ask for it, and then someone goes and brings it to you kind of deal.
Alright, so I'm downstairs not in the fucking heat, just cooling off and vibing.
Yeah.
Are you close to the hot tub? So we're just chatting with you?
Me? No.
Yeah.
I'll say the
Damn.
spring itself is kind of off in its own separate room. Like there's the big room in the center, and then
Gotcha.
all of the other like rooms / sections are kind of sprout off from that main room.
Okay.
Sure. Either way, we're just existing, I guess, until the others are ready to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Orca gets in the hot tub, and as she sinks into it, she's just. Ah.
So yeah, it's nice, right? I'll take that
Yes.
as a yes.
I've imagined often how the desert would be, because I've read about it. I fucking hate it, man.
You know what? Fair. Fair.
It's dry. It's uncomfy. It's dry.
Yeah, it is both of those things. Yes, I would agree.
I feel like I'm being sauteed.
And the reason we stay here is not because of what you find on the surface. The reason we stay here is because of what you find underneath it. There is
As someone who came from the underneath, that surprisingly disgusts me.
I can't say that I've ever been to your homeland, so I can't speak for what it's like there. What I can tell you about where I am from is that it is, of all the places I have been, I can't imagine anywhere else I would rather be, despite how little time I get to spend there these days. It is not a good way to put it into words. It's an experience that a person has to have. And then once you've had it, you're going to struggle to find anything like it ever again.
I want to retract my previous statement, because I had initially I had interpreted the underground comment to be like monsters. And now I don't want to seem like I'm being an absolute dick to the people of the underground, because that's not what was in her head, but she can imagine. She can relate. Frenzy is cold and damp and perfect.
You know, generally, those are not two words that I would associate with perfect. But I will take your word for it.
I know. It's so strange, but yeah. It's nice being born a princess to a city that has to accommodate to your every need.
You know, it's interesting. You know, I was born into nobility of a sort, at least. But I don't have a title like prince or anything like that. Like I am, I am the lieutenant of the Antlion Machinus. I work directly underneath, you know, our leader, our head figure, my father. But other than that, you know, my importance comes, you know, with my bloodline and the title that I serve under, but I don't have a inherent birthright title, I suppose. But I've never really needed one, you know? People know who I am. People have seen the things that I do, and they respect me for that, and that's all I really ask for. So
I understand that. It's probably different for you because you've grown up traveling around the continent. You've had opportunities to build that name for yourself. That you were not solely defined by your lineage. You're in a.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just saying, when you live in a small pocket under the earth, completely cut off from the rest of the world, it's strange. You know that the outside world exists, but you're not expected to ever see it. So it's kind of strange remembering who I used to be.
I think one of my favorite things about going home is going into the throne room is my favorite thing. Because I mean, like, all of it is beautiful, but when you go into the throne room, the ceiling is domed, and when you look up, it is permanently a dusk sky.
Wow.
And it is the coolest thing.
That sounds beautiful. If I ever could go back safely to Frenzy, and again, like, not die, I'd just retravel the, what are they called? We had little tunnels of water spread all throughout the city, for me specifically, so I was constantly swimming. I would just go all around those tunnels one last time.
Well, you know, I think we've got a lot of things that we have to do in the immediate, but I don't think it would be a bad idea for us to. I don't know. I mean, like you said, if we could find a way to get around the whole, you know, killer on site thing, I think it'd be nice for us to get you back there to experience that again.
I would appreciate it. I miss home. I miss my grandmother.
I know I made this offer to you before. Just like, in all sincerity. I know you said you're not a full vampire, and I know that the vampiric lineage that I come from is very different than the one that you're accustomed to. But I think there's a beauty in what we are and in what we do, especially because when you know someone and when they trust you and when they're willing to share their memories or their dreams with you, it gives it gives you a closeness with that person that you couldn't have otherwise. It gives you a sense of knowing that person and who they are and how they see things and how they feel things that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
And you stain way less of your clothes. People don't understand this. You bite somebody's neck, they bleed a lot, and it sprays.
Oh,
I've seen it done ritualistically. Yeah, it does tend to be a mess. The prophet and all the priests are usually just soaked by the end of it.
So we get around that whole mess. You ain't even gotta worry about it.
Interesting. It's lucky I didn't go through the entire ritual or the change before I ran away. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to travel in the sunlight. That would have been a drag.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. We can go out in the sun. Not an issue.
So the just eating dreams, that's the most vampire.
So it's that. I mean, we can consume blood the way other vampires do. It's just not a necessity for us. We have choice in how we do things.
What are all the ways you could feed besides dreams?
I mean, I think I've heard of other forms of vampirism. Say, we eat people's dreams, we eat people's memories, their desires. I know, like I said, I know that there are other things that other types of vampires consume from people. I'm pretty sure I met someone once who claimed that they were a vampire who drinks people's bone marrow, but I don't know if he was just fucking.
Wouldn't you need to, like, get to the bone?
His teeth were very large.
Well, that sounds horribly painful for the human.
Yeah, it does.
Like, I feel like that's also sort of the beauty of vampirism, this idea that you really can, like, even if you're just biting them in the neck, you can find a way for it to be painless. But from the bone marrow. Wow.
Yeah, no, see, that's one of the things, and I'm sure you heard at least a little bit about this while we were in the Shadfen, but like other undead, they think of us as being hoity-toity, and that we think we're better than other undead. I don't think that it's necessarily that we think we're better than anybody. I think it's just we have an appreciation for the fact that there's not necessarily the inherent carnality that is associated with our way of feeding as there is with certain other types of undead, as I am not one to cast or paint with it.
Speaking as a former princess to a vampire undercity, a lot of us are very hoity-toity.
I won't deny it. My
God forbid you ask my mother to clean up after herself.
My older sister, she has a bit of that energy, but I mean, I think that just comes with a lot of the things that she has to.
Yeah, no. My mother's a bitch. She's a great queen, but she's a bitch. I didn't take after her in that regard, I don't think.
I wouldn't say so.
You would like my grandmother, Queen Fausta. She was the very first queen of Frenzy. Still is. She acts as an advisor. She liked me. She didn't think I was foolish or unfocused. She liked my point of view of things. She listened to me.
I think that I think that you're eccentric, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think you have a lot of energy, and when it's properly directed, I think it's very effective. And I think it can be very powerful. And I think sometimes people have trouble finding their focus, the best place to focus all of that energy. I would say that that's definitely something that's true of me. And so I don't think that you have anything to worry about really in that regard. I think that it comes with time. We all just have to find our pace and our purpose, and once we've done that, then everything else kind of just falls into place.
Yep, it's all falling into place. 2 years ago, I was set to be the queen of frenzy. 2 years later, I'm in a hot tub.
It's a nice hot tub.
Yes, it is a nice hot tub. Wait a minute, are we staying here for the night or are we leaving soon?
I suppose that depends on what everyone else wants.
Orca just kind of sinks deeper into the hot tub, like to where like her mouth is covered.
Would you like to stay here?
This is silent nod.
Okay. I will talk to everyone else and see if I can't convince them to let us call it a night here before we move on. I mean, now that we're in the sandstorm, day or night really doesn't matter anymore because we won't be seeing much of the sun outside anyway. Yeah. So the private residences are just, you go back into the main room and then you hang a right, and it's the first hallway that you'll come into after coming out of this one. So you can pick a room if you want. They should all be open. I don't think anyone else is here besides the guy upstairs and us. Otherwise, if you head all the way down the end of that hallway, there'll be a set of double doors. That is my room. Feel free to join me for the evening if you'd like. I have a fairly large space, so I don't mind sharing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go find my clothes. So then I head upstairs.
Question: were we just both chilling like naked in the hot tub, or did we like have like towels?
That's
around
up to you.
So there is a sign in the undressing area that says you can dress to your comfort level.
Okay, I just got curious all of a sudden. I was like, she just like Elias stands and she just gets a face full of Elias.
So I put on a cardigan and a pair of khakis.
Exactly.
Wait, you don't walk into the hot tub with your whole wardrobe on? Oh, so I'm the insecure one, okay!
I said, Elias is comfortable. I mean, like, yeah, he would have just like gone into the. He would have undressed and gone into the hot tub. He doesn't have like bathing clothes or anything.
All right. Well, Orca
Yeah,
had
the
put
man was
Orca
just
put
very acid with you.
Orca like had like undergarments in general, and she just happens to look up and just sees Elias' ass, and it just immediately looks down.
That's the Western Desert's ass.
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ.
Stop it!
Man, you gotta be
Where's
careful.
your
There's a lot of
propriety?
things going on here at full swing.
Oh,
Say
God.
that!
Like I said, too many jokes.
Have some
Oh,
propriety in front of a former Princess
Absolutely
Elias.
not.
No.
Oh, trust me, Elias is prioritizing just fine.
Oh my god!
He
Well,
knows what he's about.
If you happen to look back at Orca, she's blushing. She's just blushing and just like face down in the water.
As he's putting on his towel and picking up his clothes, he just turns back and gives you a quick wink, and then he walks off.
As he walks off, he'll probably hear like a mixture between a shriek and it's just like this weird shrieking noise.
Just like a shriek, like a strangled shriek gets cut off.
Joker.
Uh,
Elias goes back up the stairs. I'm assuming everyone is still upstairs, or at least like in the general like sitting area.
Yeah.
All right, so if you guys are upstairs, he'll go find you upstairs. If you guys are just in the first like room after coming downstairs, he would just find you there. So, guys,
No.
Orca has communicated to me that she would like to call it a night here. That's okay with everybody else. She's a bit exasperated after nearly 6 hours of walking through a sandstorm, which I understand.
How much further do we have to go?
We have another 3.5 hours to get to the next checkpoint, and then from there it'll be just under 2 hours to get to the entrance to where we're. So we're halfway there.
Kind of fuck. So there's another like 6-hour travel. Sorry, 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, 5.5, 6 hours, yeah.
And I'm fine taking a break here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Might actually be the best, even though I do just want to get this fucking walk over.
Hane just becomes incorporeal for a second, and all the sand he accumulated in the last 2 trips just falls to the ground.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say Hane just goes inanimate. He just sits there and just...
just straight as a board, just flops down, face down on the ground.
And Trig just looking at him with the expression even under his face wrap of just like, God damn it, kid.
Mel's looking at you offended now. Even though she knows it's just like a thing you can do and you're using it, she's offended because she still like has sand everywhere. And she has to do it the hard way of taking it all out of her clothes.
So you said the bath is right there.
Yeah, but she still has to shake out all of her fucking clothes. She's mad about it. She's also just mad at the sand.
So I mean, we have a machine for so we can clean your clothes for you. Just put it in there.
Stop
Just
laughing at me, Ryan.
picturing. I'm just picturing like the little like spinny thing that they have at like pools to like wring out like your
For your
clothes,
clothes.
and it just like completely fucks up your buckles. It's like, ah, man.
So any of the leather bits take off first. It doesn't work with that.
Glad I'm not wearing my leather coat then.
Yeah?
Yeah. Alright, we stay here. Fucking Christ.
Yeah,
Now that Hayne knows that we're sticking around for a bit, he will go check out the hot springs.
Fair.
Yeah.
Elias gives everyone just kind of the quick little tour. He's like, all right, this hallway leads to the hot springs. This leads to the medical area, these private residences, the dining. If you need anything, just come and find me.
All tucked away neatly underground for your happiness.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm afraid of the ground.
Well, because outside is for poor people.
When the bomb comes, are you poor?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
It's time to play Ash, Pile, or Ghoul.
Hey,
Nobody fucking wins. Oh, you know what? You're right. I do forget. There's the hidden third option. Skeletal.
Ooh, skeletal.
You can become Mr. Skeletal.
All right.
And then you can drink
guys-
calcium from people's bones.
You guys retire underground for the remainder of the evening.
For the remainder of forever, I'm retired.
You awaken in the morning. For those of you that needed to awaken. Is there anything you would like to do before you head off?
So I think the real question is: does Orca walk out of her room or Elias's?
That is a good question.
I can see her trying to, just her messing up the instructions and just ending up in his room when she's trying to go to her room, like another room. So she just ends up in Elias's room, and then he comes in at some point, and then she's like, "Fuck!" So she just spends the entire night, like back to Elias, very stiff.
So yes, we could. So I can show you where the other. So do you want like a cot or something? Like
I'm fine. I'm fine.
She's made her decision and she's sticking to it for better or for worse.
Elias brings her a nice book and a hot chocolate, and then just leaves her be for the evening.
Damn, that's gonna be a long and hard evening. All right.
For the people who don't sleep, Mel is up earlier than normal.
Nerd.
She then proceeds to bitch about the fact that as she starts getting ready for the day, about all the fucking sand.
yeah, you're awake early to look at the sand more.
Orca also wakes up earlier than she usually would. It's like the moment she first gained consciousness, she remembered where she was and just immediately dipped. So she probably meets all of you out like an hour after you show up, Mel.
So yeah, you rush out of the room just to realize that Elias left the room as soon as his trance was over.
Yeah, because I think Orca.
She has committed to decisions.
Yeah, because I think Orca's now the only one that actually needs 8 hours.
It's true.
Fucked.
We go rushing out of Elias's room just to run into him in the main room. I was like, "Hey, good morning."
Another scream, and then disappears.
Just looks over at Mel, just kind of shrugs his shoulders.
Right, she does realize she's coming with us, right? Like, she's not just staying here.
Someone may have to explain that to her.
I'll give her
Sounds like
5 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds like a problem for somebody who knows how to say words good.
So
Wait,
I
who
thought
are we waiting for?
You.
you.
You, because you screamed and ran away.
I meant scream and ran away to where the group is.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's with the group, babes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
right. She just disappeared, and then she came back. I don't know.
She went to
Hey,
go find
Karl,
everyone
She
else.
runs into the med bay and then realizes where she is, and then just kind of slowly walks back.
It's the walk
Facial
of shame.
awareness? Me? Absolutely not. You know, she's present. She's ready to go.
So yeah, you walk back and just, you good?
Not a word until we leave.
Okay.
Huh.
All right, we leave.
Yeah.
We leave.
All right. You guys exit the shelter, heading up to the surface. And to your shock and surprise, you find Garrett.
Oh,
He's just
And-
slowly making his way back.
And his storm glider. Both very dead.
Oh
Oh,
no! Garrett!
Hey! Oh no!
Oh hey! Why is he moving? Why is he? Oh shit!
You see that his torso has been cut in half at the waist,
Oh my god.
and his storm glider has been shredded to pieces.
Cut
Is
in.
he gonna be alright?
Oh, God damn it!
No,
we can't do the ritual right now.
No!
I'm imagining Storm Glider is the creature that Elias was talking about that they use to navigate, not a piece of equipment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
It is a large snake with a frilled neck that we have devices that they use to propel like air into their frills to basically use them as sails to propel us around through the desert.
Is Garrett bisected as by weaponry or as by brute force?
Make a medicine check.
Medicine.
Oh boy.
I'm good at
Man.
that.
2 hours in, first roll of the night.
Woo!
told you guys. I don't like when he's typing shit.
God damn, I'm so fucking. Determine the fate of creatures for bloodstains and remains. I get advantage on that, but only on investigation checks, not medicine checks. That means I'm fucking. I'm
I guess you could do investigation for it.
Medicine is better though.
Oh, okay.
It's just I'm mad about that feature being only investigation checks.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, it's also for like finding hidden doors and traps and shit.
Make a medicine-based investigation check.
Yeah, right. Just like fuck you.
Oh god.
I mean, I mean,
Had to
who
start
knows how
somewhere.
long? I mean, who knows how long it's been out here? It like he's probably like right on the edge, isn't he?
Yeah, he's right. He's right on the edge. He's not quite in the storm, but
Okay.
yeah, he's cut in half. Hard to tell.
I understand.
Anybody else wanna try?
I would contend it isn't, but okay.
I understand that this is probably something that would be harder to tell, but does it look like he was snuck up on and didn't realize he was being attacked and then it was just over? Or does it look like he fled here after being pursued and then died after arriving? Like whatever was chasing him followed him here and then killed him.
Make a survival check.
Josh, you said we could do investigation as well.
Yeah, you can do investigation as well.
All right, cool.
Want to
I
give
do
me
my
advantage?
Detective stuff.
Someone want to give me advantage on an investigation check?
I can
I
give you
will.
a guidance.
Well, you're making survival to check your thing.
I'm
Yeah.
terrible at survival.
I've already rolled, so I'm assuming that I can't help
Yeah.
you.
I can give you guidance.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
he already rolled. You would have had to give guidance
Well, he
beforehand.
did say it. She did say beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So 18.
Hmm.
Okay. Given the surrounding area and how quickly the storm wipes away anything outside of
Any
the safe
trace?
zone,
Yeah.
it looks like he walked through the camp, and then
Okay.
that was it. There's
Yeah.
nothing inside the safe zone that would depict anything snuck up on him or anything of the sort.
Okay, so I guess to make it clearer what I'm looking for, what I would be looking to see is essentially if he was in motion when he died, he knew something was pursuing him, if he was in motion and the thing that bisected him was also in motion, the blood stains would be stretching further out than they would be if he was standing still and got bisected, where it would be more spread out from the center of where he was hit. Whereas if he was in motion and the thing that hit him was in motion, the bloodstains would be pointed more in one central
She
direction.
wants to do blood splatter analysis.
Yes.
It looks like he was standing still.
Okay.
Everybody else, you are able to tell that the bisecting was not done cleanly.
Mm.
Oh.
It definitely was not a sharp weapon, and probably more just force.
Oh, good God.
He wasn't cut in half. He was ripped in half.
Just a freaking bloater. Just freaking.
Now the question becomes: was this done by the Jaeger? Was this done by the thing that's been moving around out in the desert? And are those two things the same, potentially the same thing?
I hope they're not the same thing.
Wolfheart,
Oh, no.
you hear a voice within you as your companion tells you it smells an awful lot like scorpion.
Fuck. Probably is a Jaeger, yeah.
Something come to mind?
Our companions can be any amount of predator,
Mm-hmm.
which includes insects,
Uh-huh.
scorpions.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Although if we don't embody it wouldn't be a Jaeger anymore. It would be one of the turned at that point. Just because I have the wolf within me doesn't mean I have the scent of a wolf, for example, or anything like that. Someone who would be bonded to a scorpion or anything that's more attuned to the desert wouldn't necessarily be more attuned to the desert unless they've been subsumed. But everything I know about the new Jaegers, that shouldn't happen.
Well,
Maybe
if there's
it's
anything that
not
I know
you.
about conducting experiments that shouldn't and doesn't are very different.
Unfortunately, you're right. This implies that it's something. It's smart not to stay in the sand.
I mean, I'd almost have to.
Well, turned Jaegers are different than most of the other beasts we fight. Most of them retain some level of intellect, but it's not much. Turned Jaegers are unfortunately very prone to retaining most of the memories. They are highly aggressive, yeah. Usually because most of them are turned due to effectively a blood psychosis.
Oh, so it's feral. Wonderful.
Yeah. Again, I didn't know if that was possible with this new generation, but I suppose anything is possible.
You do remember Garrett saying before he died that the ones that he fought were on something.
I mean, I guess if they've been dosed, it's entirely possible that...
I know that.
Maybe they can be rehabilitated.
No.
Well, so I know that Jaegers essentially go through some form of degradation Is it possible that whatever drug they're taking is accelerating their degradation?
Well, mine is a unique case. No Jaegers lived as long as I have. The old generation, it wasn't so much a physical degradation as it was. You can speak to Ferox. Ferox can speak through me. He can operate my body. That's because Ferox is not anywhere near as constrained as apparently what the new generations are supposed to be. The new generations are. The human host goes through extensive amounts of bodily modification, more than even I went through, to more adapt them to this new presence, and the host partner is put under many wards and such to prevent them from having direct control.
But
I suppose maybe it's possible that if they are drugged in some very specific way, the host might slip into such a state that even through the many wards and safeguards, the parasites, for lack of a better word, can slip through. Even the weakest of them is still significantly stronger in psionics than most people could even dream to be.
I have a quick question.
Hmm.
This is mostly for Elias or Josh, whichever one can answer. Garrett was at the previous checkpoint, correct?
He was, yes.
Okay. Where's the guy that was at this checkpoint?
Most
Oh.
He's not
likely
there.
positions swapping. If it's just like a positional swap thing, he would have moved on to the checkpoint we would have been going to next, and Garrett would have been his replacement, I'd imagine.
Unless, if I'm following your logic, do you think he is what did this, Cantor?
That's part of it, but I'm just curious as to where the guy that was here is currently.
Alright.
I thought that may have been an extremely low chance, but not impossible. But I'm just curious as to if Garrett was the only one that we saw here. So
There is nobody here manning this checkpoint currently.
Well, probably onto itself, but we can't exactly stay here and wait until somebody else shows up.
We can't stay and wait. Unfortunately, we're going to have to brave the sandstorm, and it puts us right in its terrain, but the insect forms were so rare. I only knew of one. She was spider and not scorpion. I don't know what we'd be facing if this is a Jaeger. Mm. Maybe if we're lucky, it's not, but
a lot of coincidences.
how confident does Ferox seem in that this is probably one of his kin?
95%.
No, we're dealing with a Jaeger here. Or If not a Jaeger, it could have been one of their implantations that escaped and perhaps found its way into a scorpion, and then we're dealing with some sort of mutagenic gigantism situation, and I don't think about that. None of our options are good here, I guess is what I'm trying to impress, and I don't know what to expect.
That's the vibe that I'm getting.
So, say in the scenario that we encounter this possible Jaeger, are you? I'm
We will
guessing
ha-
we need to take him down, right?
We will have to fight it wherever we find it. It will likely attack us in the sandstorm. The fact of the matter is simply that this will not be a person-sized scorpion. At smallest, it will be the size of a horse.
Oh,
At largest, the size of a house. And it will not simply be scorpion. It will bear the marks of many other creatures.
Well, that's lovely. That's great.
Exceedingly troubling is the words that I would use.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the defenders of Selenara are also its greatest monsters.
Well, I suppose we have to think about it. Maybe the way we go in order with the rope. I guess you, Wolfheart, Hane, Trig, Elias, and me. We would, I would suppose, do like the big brunt of the fighting. So perhaps
But it
we
could
should.
happen from anywhere. It won't just hit us from head on.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
The side.
In my head.
It will come from below, more than likely. I mean, I'm not 100% familiar with scorpions, but I believe they do burrow, correct?
Yes. Yes, they do.
They also sting, right?
Yes.
Yes. But
Okay.
on the positive side, generally, when it comes to scorpions, the more deadly ones are the smaller ones. I don't know if that's
We
here.
will also... We can't even rely that it will be stinging venomously. I don't know what cocktails of venoms or hallucinogens or what other vile things this thing could produce. If we're lucky, it's toxin.
Not to be negative, but this is almost sounding like a death promise. Death mark. And I do not want to be the downer. I want to have hope.
Well, buddy, the more I hear about your home, I kind of really hate it. Love you to pieces. What the fuck, man?
And now you understand why I'm so against some of these decisions we have made thus far. This is not the worst that Selenara has to face. Just the most consistent.
Okay.
It's not a death sentence.
Okay.
The main issue that stems, at least in Selenara, from transformed Jaegers is that they join the Bestial Collective. And they're the smartest of the Bestial Collective. They can command lesser ones to distract and body block and do all sorts of things to disrupt our own arrays. By itself, It will be difficult. I am not going to say that this will be a fight we will win handily. I do not expect any of us will die.
Okay, that's a relief. That's a relief. Thank you, Wolfhard. That's what I needed.
But we cannot simply rely on brute force tactics. This is an entity that will have at least the intelligence of a person. And honestly, if... No, they haven't lessened, they've only gotten better. This is going to be a person who is aware of hunting tactics, and therefore, even as some sort of beast, is going to be aware of their advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
Of which, in a sandstorm, there are many for it. I would assume that it will probably have some way of sensing movement. It does not need sight. So even if we had the way to blind it, that won't really affect it much.
All right.
Our best course of action may be through brute strength trying to flip it on its back. Again, I'm not exactly familiar with scorpion anatomy as a whole, but I don't imagine something that's that heavy top-wise isn't going to be able to flip over very easily. Hard to say, though.
Orca looks at Mel and just like, do you know anything about scorpions? You're the one who knows about bugs and stuff.
Bad time, friends. I don't know anything about scorpions. Well, Krista doesn't. I don't know. Does Mel know stuff about scorpions?
Does Mel know stuff about famed Mortal Kombat character Scorpion?
Get over here.
I doubt it.
Damn. It was worth a shot.
Shit.
Yeah, I guess put it on its back and then it's the best way.
Wait, you said there was
perhaps.
like a catalog or something at the last stop?
It was like an archive of sorts.
Does this one also have like an archive?
You'd say yes, it does.
How complex is the filing system?
Fairly complex. But anyone who like has any like sort of like clerical knowledge would be able to figure it out.
You're really office working yourself into this. I love it.
God.
Damn. Yeah.
Batman.
Would I be able to figure out their filing system before we leave?
Yeah, probably.
Yay. Can I see if there's anything about scorpions in general?
They do have information on scorpions.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. Turns out, flipping it on its back is a somewhat viable option. At least momentarily.
Hmm.
The only thing I know for sure is that scorpions tend to be a bit more maneuverable. So, yeah. But here it says it would be... this might work. It's not going to be like a long-term thing, but like a just do it and get the fuck out of there thing, maybe.
If we can manage to get it on its back, that's not really a time to escape. That would be a time to try to disable it more completely while it's down. The main issue, I think, is that we won't be able to escape this thing. It will likely be faster than us.
It is going to be definitely faster than us.
And more adapted to the terrain.
Very adapted to the terrain. But we also can't stay here.
No. We, as far as combating it goes, my assumption would be cold might drive it away, or at least bother it more so than anything else. Even that's a maybe. As far as our more martial individuals go, I mean, Orca, you're probably more going to get more work out of stabbing it rather than slashing it.
Okay. Good to know.
Even ones that were made out of more ones whose compatriots were more standard animals, wolves, bears, that sort. Even things that would have relatively soft hides could turn away blades fairly easily. Unless they were
Okay.
fairly heavy.
Stab, not slash. Gotcha.
Would be the best course of action. I mean... Yeah. If it's as far gone as it might be... Things that affect the mind tend to be fairly effective for our spellcasters. it might be in a transitory state. It will still have intelligence, but it will still act unpredictably, animalistically at times. It's hard to say, especially with this new generation, and especially since, at least according to the recently deceased Garrett, these ones seemed affected already. Perhaps they're already in the process of turning. I don't know. We can't expect it to let up. We can't expect it to show anything, any mercy. At best, it's in pain and is lashing out. At worst, it is completely gone. There is nothing rational left.
Are you gonna be okay taking this down? No doubt that you can, but it mustn't. It must be hard to take down fellow Jaegers. I mean, I would assume so. I'm not gonna pretend to know.
It's better to kill one than to let it get to a bunch more people.
Yeah.
It's not my first time. And if Selenar is this far gone, it may not be my last.
Orca awkwardly pats Wolford on the shoulder. And yeah.
Alright. I think we should still stay tied together as a group. Knowing that this thing is out there, it might try to take one of us. If we're all tied together, it will be much more difficult for it to take just one of us.
Good idea.
I wouldst agree.
Unfortunately, it's also very likely that if it does manage to grab a hold of one of us and try to take us, it may very well easily rip the ropes, but it's something that will slow it down, and that might be enough.
But well, then we'll at least also know.
Exactly. Alright.
Alright, let's... Yep.
So how do we go about looking for this thing then?
I don't know if we look for it. I think it will find us.
I'm inclined to agree.
The-
I don't think we should
the,
necessarily go seeking it out. I don't know. Say, I think it's more well attuned to the environment than we will be. I don't necessarily think we'll be lucky enough to get through without running into it, but I think that should be the goal: is to get as far as we can without having to engage it.
yeah, because as Elias has said, anything outside of the beaten path is untraversed territory. I would rather stick to a path that's, at the very least, Elias knows is safe, and if we so happen to intersect it, well, more the boon for us, rather than us trying to venture out into
Well,
something without much landmark.
if it killed Garrett, and it was recent enough, that means it's still close. If we were to try to make our way to the next checkpoint, we'd be out in the open, and it would have the storm's help in ambushing us. Would it be better if we stay here and try to lure it into the safe zone so we have a little bit of a home turf advantage against it? That way we
Yeah, I
also
think
wouldn't have to worry about being tied together if we're all in here.
I mean, it's worth trying. We're already here.
We'll
I guess
definitely do better in here than we would out there.
I guess I just wouldn't expect a great amount of success. Again, I don't know how far gone this individual is mentally. I don't know if it's still has its reason or not. If it does, it knows just as well as we do that we are more vulnerable out there than in here.
I mean, that would have been true for Garrett, too, and it still killed him.
I guess.
Garrett was also alone, though, so.
Yeah.
We're saying we're not exactly on a timetable here or in a more defensible position here. We can either try to draw it here and kill it on our own turf, or we can batten down the hatches and maybe he'll find a different scent and leave us alone for a bit.
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea to try and fight it here.
I
Gives us the best advantage, honestly.
does. I guess I would just worry about what scent that it catches that isn't us.
I mean, there won't be too many other people out here except for my people. And while most of them probably won't be moving in groups unless there's some form of operation going on at the moment.
Well, I'm sure if a day or two goes by and Garrett hasn't checked in, that would definitely set up a couple alarms.
Oh, yes.
No.
Almost certainly.
It's true.
They said they were doing day rotations.
Exactly.
Hmm.
We should definitely stay for a day or two, just in case. Even that way, hopefully we can get some more reinforcements to help.
This
If that's
sounds
an option.
ideal.
Unless they also kill anything trying to come our way and just waiting for us to step out there.
That we don't know.
It's a lot of variables.
Hmm. We're dealing with an uncertain target. I mean,
Well, I mean, it's a hunter.
it has the hunt.
We have plenty of plenty of resources like food and water here at the waypoint. In a siege, we're in the advantage here. It's gonna have at some point to go hunt something else, or it would have to attack us.
Plus, especially if we are, for the most part, holed up downstairs, it's not coming through the walls. They're reinforced. Only way he's getting to us would be through or down the stairwell.
I hope. It's not that I don't have faith in our people's construction, it's more of I don't know how strong this thing is going to be. How persistent. Each transformed Jaeger is unique, and I didn't know this one.
We don't have anybody that can magically send a message to somebody nearby, do we?
Who are you to send a message to?
I don't
think
know.
so,
I'm
no.
just saying, like, if somebody has a way to transfer a message, you can alert your home and warn them that it's dangerous out here and people are dead.
Above game, Ren could, but she would have to know who she's sending it to.
Mm.
Does she have something?
I'm pretty sure she's used it in
She
the past.
does not have sending.
Oh,
No,
I'm
she's
thinking
used
something else
message.
Yeah.
was it just message? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she has message. But...
Yeah, we have nobody that can use sending, I think.
Okay. For some reason, I have a memory of her sending a message to somebody. Maybe that was an NPC. Never mind.
Maybe. I don't know.
I never trust my memory because I keep getting now characters mixed up with old characters. So
So the answer is no. Nobody can send a message.
no.
Correct. Correct. So I think it's cleric and wizard. Bard, cleric, wizard, I think are the ones that get sending, and we have none of those.
So I do have telepathy, but I don't think my telepathy has nearly the range necessary. Yeah, it's 60 feet. Yeah, so I could not.
It was worth a shot. I just was curious.
I mean, it's a good idea.
If we had it, it'd be a great idea, but we don't, unfortunately, so.
Well, druids get it.
Do they?
Do they?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right.
For sending?
Uh-huh.
I don't see that.
What level?
Is it like a specific druid subclass then, maybe?
It's probably land, yeah. Okay, half the time when I look up shit in the fucking compendium on Roll20, it gives me a class that doesn't exist. What the fuck is an occultist? That's just a warlock.
Yeah, it has to be a.
I
And
have
occultist
cleric.
is an old unearthed arcana class that got axed.
Apparently it's in the Roll20 compendium for some fucking reason.
I had cleric tagged too, not just druid. That's why it's on the cleric.
Oh, you fool. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised. I mean, I know druids get a variant of it with animal messenger, but obviously we can't really send an animal messenger in this because, oh look, a bird. Shh.
Oh look,
Well,
shredded chicken.
Well, no, we
Yeah.
have we have the desert ravens, and they can survive the storm. But my raven isn't here, so I can't.
Yeah.
Send that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I'm no longer a bard, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kind of out of my control.
I'm so used to having at least someone with, because I'm pretty sure K2 had it last game because of his
Did.
amalgamation.
Sure
Also,
did.
yeah, and also if K2 didn't have sending, what the fuck would Mike have been doing?
Being really bored.
He was actually just lying the whole time.
well, more of the fact of K2 was all spy espionage bullshit. That man
Yeah.
not having sending doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm an evocation wizard. I don't have fireball or like cone of cold or something like that. It's like, why? What do you mean? Yeah, I'm so used to having like someone in a game that usually has like sending, and I was like, oh yeah, we don't have that. Shit.
All right, so how do you lure a scorpion that's maybe sentient and remembers that this would probably be a trap? Mm-hmm.
I think the answer is not be anywhere near the scorpion.
I mean, I have a terrible idea.
You have a terrible idea?
Call him a bitch.
That fucking switch.
But wait, I don't say it won't work because he won't hear us because you can't hear sound really out in the sandstorm.
Oh my god.
That was a great idea because I was totally about to stick my head out there and do it, but then I remembered he wouldn't hear me.
I also wouldn't care if you're doing it. If he's at that point, he's progressed more into my side of things than Wolfheart's.
Is there some kind of animalistic challenge that he might respond to?
That's basically what I was saying, yeah.
Right, but I mean, like, something more than just yelling into the aether. Like, can you, like, go out into the desert and let out, like, some pheromones or something that he'll smell?
Huh. Yeah, I never really thought about the fact that I'm in this fucking thing and not what I'm used to, so, I can't really slip through the space of non-existence and hit him in the face directly.
No.
Well, just keep in mind one thing. We do technically have an out. We can just teleport out of here. Just saying it's an option. But it's detrimental on what we need to do, but just saying.
Yeah, unless there were any portals that Ren could have gotten.
No,
She did say she got like 2
Not
more
portals,
uses.
circles.
Well, I think more of the fact that Elias's people keep this place locked up tighter than Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like there's.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that we can at least get back to Sinai and,
Yeah.
if we need to.
But then I'd also be leaving everyone out here with
Yes.
a get wrecked scorpion.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm just saying it's an option. But if we do leave, we could at least warn some people or get some messages to some people that could help. Just tossing ideas. I don't know.
God, with Ferox at the helm, does anything about our current situation change, or would he then be locked to my senses and?
Yeah, he would be locked to your senses.
Okay, that makes sense.
And he's mad about it.
Meh. I mean, I could try something, maybe. Don't know how well it's gonna work.
Mark your territory.
Elias,
yes.
how much of your friend's body do you need?
Oh.
It's a very morbid question.
Well, I either take what's left of him or I take it from one of you, and I think between the two.
I mean, we're a utilitarian people at heart.
I'll leave you the head, got it.
What the fuck?
Waste not, want not.
So aggressive.
Ferris is just going to start walking to the body, and as he does so, a rune on one of the gauntlets that of Wolfart's armor glows, and you see these metal parts of his legs just begin attracting to that and forming a massive fucking claw.
Oh
Before
my
you
God.
Before you do it, you thank Garrett for his service.
We what Garrett for his service?
Thank.
We all,
yes.
including
Yes.
Ferox, will thank Garrett for his service.
Of course.
To remember to spank Garrett for his service.
This episode took an awkward turn.
Ferox just like kneels next to the body. Well, tough break, kid. You did your best.
The best I could have asked for.
You did your best, but unfortunately you got outplayed by something you couldn't have possibly seen coming.
Well, that's sweet.
Yeah, that works. Thank you.
Well, that's sweet. Crack!
Orca's smile just turns into just shock, and she
Yeah,
just stares.
You break the head away from his shoulders, and strangely, the blood begins pouring out very quickly.
Oh, shit!
It appears to be thinner than it would normally be.
Tanner.
As if the blood has been unable to clot.
Oh no! He has an anticoagulant.
Hey.
I'm so sorry. What does that mean?
That means
That
when
means the
you
blood
start to
doesn't-
bleed, you don't stop.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I don't bleed then.
Same.
Yeah, so glad for you guys.
That makes this job easier. Just gonna basically coat the claw in blood and start painting occult runes in the sand.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, as you do. As one
Yeah.
does.
Basically, I'm calling him out on twitter.com.
Okay, yeah, you begin painting runes in the sand.
Hey God, while the wolf is calling the scorpion a little bitch,
Yeah.
can I attempt to see if there's anything else? I don't know if I could do this actually. Could I see if it's more than just anticoagulant with it?
Yeah, make a medicine check.
Oh. Part of the cards. Damn.
Okay. How are you testing it?
You know, I don't actually know.
Okay, well,
So
you,
not-
you stare at the blood, and it looks like blood.
Nice. Okay, cool. I'll take my dumb question answer, so. All I know is I'm just smart enough not to lick it. So.
That's
Deep
okay.
embedded dig.
Just said so calmly,
Well,
like it's acceptable.
oh, it's not acceptable. However, Tori,
Tori.
does that answer your question?
No, but
She did
I'm
do that.
trying-
She did
A
do that.
lot.
A lot.
She what?
She almost turned into a mermaid the one time.
Yeah,
she,
so
like,
Tori's
she
last
licked
character
shit?
was a her last character was a vampire who liked to just eat strange bloods. Her
Well,
goal was to
question.
try every blood, but
Oh,
she would just eat strange bloods. Even ones we would tell her that's probably a really bad idea for.
Yeah, she almost turned into a cursed mermaid once.
It's true.
A cursed
true.
mermaid?
Cursed mermaid. Yeah.
I mean, mermaid doesn't seem like a bad deal.
No.
Yeah,
He's
plus
right.
water. Definitely what.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was not great.
Listen, we can have Josh send you the picture later. It's funny. Don't
Oh
worry
It
about
no.
was,
It's fine. It's
it.
fine.
He's fine. He's fine. Right. Anyways, yeah. Yeah. So I'm telling him the rock sucks and he knows it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
he's a piece of shit. We'll get nowhere in life. Get fucked,
Yeah.
Chad.
Listen here, you wee little whippersnapper.
The fact that you rely on Venom to kill means you're a pussy, and we all know it. Our father invented Venom so that people like you had a chance. Along those lines.
Got it.
However, anyone else that looks at these runes just sees headache.
Ah, yes. My favorite time is shit talk. Headache.
Mm-hmm.
It is a classic.
Listen, it's incontrovertible. I have a character that deals with eldritch bullshit. They speak headache.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah.
Gotham did it.
Yeah.
Man, where is my token for the Boat Rule?
That's a great question, Mega Man.
And
All my tokens saved in one space. Cool. Anyways, I finish.
Okay.
Okay, well, I don't know if it's gonna work, but I guess if it does, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
I picture you say this as you just get like body slammed.
Fucking probably,
Was it one of the pictures I sent you? Maybe?
It's not even the body slam. It's like
I
the.
think so, yeah.
It's like the shark emerging as someone turns around and just. Ah, shit.
I'm imagining a character from the show Arcane. She usually just comes in and just like knees the shit out of people. That's the first thing my brain went to.
Ah.
Almost.
God damn it, Chris.
I'm actually sorry. That's just my idle sound when I'm doing things.
Oh my
No,
god.
I know. I also think it's funny that that Tori's is "Come and Get Your Love," but she doesn't want to know what that's what the song is, and I'm like, God damn it, Tori, pissed me off.
Oh, did you find it?
Probably.
Oh wait, why am I looking through this when I could just?
I can't wait. I
where's
can't wait
my-
to hear Tori's reaction to this.
It's
I'm gonna be
back.
so annoyed. Chapter 3, Rava's questionnaires. Is it on Rava's questionnaires?
Probably.
No, it's not. Rava's, Ryan's, Portala, Serenex, Goals, Campaign 2? Oh, Campaign 2.
Yeah, it was campaign 2.
Got it.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. Don't be a bitch. Come on.
Did I archive it?
You might have.
Probably.
Yeah, I didn't make nice sea creatures, by the way, last time.
Oh no. It's fine.
I must have just straight up deleted it.
You might have.
You silly little bitch.
Actually, I don't even think I had a character sheet for it. I think I just posted the picture.
I mean, yeah, probably because we never fought one.
Yeah. Never
We
had
just,
to.
yeah, because we weren't interested in trying to.
All right. Anyway,
Anyways,
yeah, you put out your message to the rogue Jaeger, and it's 10:30, so that's where we're gonna end the session for the night.
fantastic.
Ooh.
Sounds like a plan, so I'm just going to go ahead and end the recording here. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you next week.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.